Mint smells robin late at night.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ah!
Hey, welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to Blerd Survival Guide. I'm your co-host, Jeremy.
And I'm your co-host, Jay.
Hey, and welcome. This is a new episode of Blerd Survival Guide. Jay, how are you?
There's a fly in here.
Okay. All right. Jay, how you faring today?
I'm doing good, man. It's the start of a new week. I'm feeling grateful for the week that I have had.
Hey.
And the weekend was wonderful. And I got to have we both went to Susie and Patrick's ugly Christmas sweater party. Yeah, that's what you call those
There
things.
you go. We figured out.
So that was a lot of fun. We got there eventually. You know, we had Miriam and I had other
prior engagements.
Yeah, that thing. So yeah, we did that, and now we're here. We're shooting a day late, but I'm feeling good.
But we're not $1 short. That's
something like that.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. You know, in the midst of peak season of Amazon and
your maximum elf powers have been activated.
Oh, definitely, and we're just doing all that we can to be who we can be at Amazon. That's what I'm going to say to that, because I don't know if the company likes to listen. But no, other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Yes, I did go out with you guys this weekend to celebrate Patrick and Susie and ugly Christmas sweaters and drinking and whatnot and so forth. And
debauchery of all sorts of
Indeed. And it was good to be an adult that wasn't at work on the weekend. So,
well, we were happy to have you. It's a rare and infrequent surprise when you're able to get off and enjoy your company on the weekends. So
yeah.
It was always fun to, dude. I really enjoyed like the bizarre place that we went, the coffee bar that we went. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was exciting. That was fun. We saw some older women twerking. That was fun.
It was something. it was something.
All I know is I aspire to their level of not giving a fuck.
Yeah, and I plan on being at that point when we're at that point.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
that's a plan for sure. But that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
What are we talking about?
Well, we are in a
if
festive
anybody
mood.
couldn't get a clue from the opening.
Yeah, with all the sleigh bells ringing and
having
everything's
your feelings bright.
Yeah, and being gay with gay apparel and all of the above. It's Christmas season time. Festivities.
Holiday?
Whatever you may celebrate, it's that time in December. Hanukkah just passed. Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish survivalists.
I will say, if you've never seen Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights, it is a wonderful film about Hanukkah that, you know, it stars one of our favorite actors. It's an animated film, if you didn't know that either, and it's a musical. So it's several of the things that we enjoy as Blerds, but at least between you and I, we should watch it because I think you've never seen this movie before.
I have not.
Oh, Jeremy.
I hear,
folks, please.
Sounds like I'm here for a treat.
No, you were in. I mean, because it's dirty humor too. It's Adam Sandler humor in animated form, and a holiday special.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I didn't even think that I was going to talk about that movie because I would wake up on like the weekends. And I had cable, and we would watch Comedy Central.
Right.
And it would always be airing on Comedy Central. It didn't air anywhere else. Which probably why you didn't watch it.
Probably. I mean, I watched a few things on Comedy Central, but I just hadn't gotten around to seeing it. So that is something to add to the list, at least for the holiday season. But there are some other movies that I feel we should rank.
We have to rank and acknowledge for sure.
Yeah, but that is definitely high on the acknowledgement list because Adam Sandler is a fantastic actor, producer.
Hashtag GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a Happy Madison film, too.
Pretty definite. I mean, he does not...
Because
he lets his whole family eat. I mean, extended family, like friends and children friends of children. And anybody that is connected to Adam Sandler, it's like you have a secure job for at least 10 to 20 years.
Adam Sandler built the bridge so Seth Rogen could cross over it.
Oh, yeah. But back to the matter at hand. Christmas is a wonderful time.
This Christmas.
Enough before we get charged by somebody. Christmas, though, it's a fantastic time for year. I know both Jay and I celebrate it quite often, at least once a year.
I mean, sometimes twice, because Christmas in July is 100% the thing.
I plan on doing that as a party next year, because
why not?
Why not?
It's a Blerd official party. Christmas in July.
You all invited.
Everybody invited.
Yeah. Bring swim trunks and your Santa hats, baby.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
But we are going off on so many different tangents. What is let's just get into it. Jay, what is I would say just throw out a Christmas movie that you really like. We don't even have to rank it
Elf,
yet.
bro. Elf.
Ooh.
Elf.
Ooh.
Elf. Like that is bar none, in my opinion, the best Christmas movie out there at the moment.
You know, it was
almost didn't happen. It
almost didn't happen. It's like, yeah,
it's a Kevin Feige produced.
Did he produce it? I know Jon Favreau directed.
Excuse me, Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
I get
Happy Hogan from Iron Man. Of those of you MCU aficionados,
yes,
he is also a director.
Jon Favreau produced it and directed it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he wrote it as well.
He wasn't the writer.
He had a team. It was him and somebody
But it was a team.
else.
But no, the actual writer of the film. I remember if you watched the movies that made us, it was like he wrote that story like years before.
Right.
And they were trying to find the director, and Jon Favreau hasn't directed anything yet, or like anything big yet. Right. This was his first big thing. This movie was a stepping point.
Chef. It was right after he had directed Chef because they found him from Chef. That's how I'm pretty freaking positive.
I don't think Chef was way afterwards.
Way later.
Was
Yeah.
it really?
Chef was like after like Iron Man, Iron Man 2. Yeah. This was like Jon Favreau's directorial debut for like a big movie. Like this is one of his first big things. It was like this was a stepping point for a lot of the people on that team. Like Will Ferrell was just a Saturday Night Live
They
actor
said
at
that
that
Will
point.
Ferrell couldn't star in a movie.
Exactly.
They said that he could not be a leading man, and that movie proved it wrong.
Exactly.
Like,
After that, Will Ferrell was like he shot into stardom at that point. Jon Favreau got contracts and deals. I think that's probably the movie that got him Iron Man at that point.
Elf is his first non-TV movie his direct
major motion picture.
His first, yeah, and it was on like a limited budget, like to the point that like when you see the scenes in New York when Will Ferrell is interacting with the people of New York. Those are real people. Those aren't extras. No, those are real people he's interacting with, and you see this 6'5" man running around in an elf costume coming to you, be like, "Hi, do you want to have pancakes with M&Ms?" Like,
and the thing is, if you live in New York and you see people dressed up, you know what they want always. They always want to take a picture with you and charge your money.
Yeah.
So I bet all these people think that Will Ferrell is dressed up in a character to charge.
Most of them didn't even know who Will Ferrell was. This was like, why is this strange man in an elf costume running toward me?
You know, he maybe had some sets at the Underground and then gone to SNL and did his piece there, and he had done a few skits, cowbell skits, legendary.
Right, and I mean, a lot of people do know him, but it was one of those things where it's like, I mean, they knew him as like, why is this SNL guy running up to me? That's what the people in New York will say. Because I mean, if you're in New York, you're going to see celebrities all the time. So it was like, why is this guy from SNL just running up to me in the elf costume?
He had just done Old School, which is like that raunchy.
Yeah, the basketball film with Andre 3000.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, Elf is by far one of my favorite Christmas movies. Your turn. You go next.
Ooh, if I had to by far one of my favorite, and this is a trilogy, the Santa Claus trilogy.
Tim Allen is Santa Claus. No matter what,
no matter how problematic it is, I mean, or he is, I should say, because he's had some problematic issues as of late. But Santa Claus trilogy as a whole is.
Wait, Tim Allen has a scandal?
I mean, his like political views and stuff.
I mean, that's
people. That's
his
people
personal,
being people.
Yeah, that's his personal preference.
Yeah.
I thought he got Me Too'd and
I mean, how could Santa Claus? I mean. well, that lap thing.
It was an episode of Family Guy.
Oh God. The Santa Claus trilogy. It tells the story of Christmas. It tells the story of family.
It takes a new take on the story of Christmas.
I love it. I've always loved it.
This hard-edged associate that wants to deal with nothing with Christmas. It's just all about buying and selling and toys. He is his own Santa in the world of capitalism.
Literally.
But
he learns values. He learns those things that make Santa Claus Santa Claus.
Right.
The care and the love and the children.
And that's all in the first movie. We still got the second one where he has a deadline to stay Santa Claus after he learns to love it, but he has to find a Mrs. Claus at this point.
That, while problematic, we might be able to say.
I would say a little traditionalist.
A little tradition. I like that. A little traditionalist. I mean, it's a wonderful story the way they ended up telling it because
But I mean, it's the Santa Claus. Like it's the clause of being Santa. Like
you get to see him be smooth too.
Yeah,
bro. Like, you see Tim Allen bring out like
break out all the stops.
The horse-drawn using
sled. His Santa magic to do that.
The
like,
horse-drawn
the
sled,
personal snow,
the presents at the end. That part, the presents at
that office Christmas party,
it always gets me.
Oh man,
it always gets me.
Yeah,
always. It's a real. He calls them all by their name. They're
right,
like,
just knew them automatically. Like this strange man is like at this Christmas party, like
bizarre. Like it's
wait,
come on, like how you.
And how do you know I wanted a Rock'em Sock'em Robot from 1976? Like it's
the vintage
2008.
toys,
like
the vintage toys and like the pristine boxing. I mean, that's a touch. That's a touch, and that goes to the prop department for the movie.
Finding those,
I mean, golly,
and like finding them in good condition. But also one thing about Santa Claus 2 that I enjoyed was the villains in Santa Claus 2 and 3, which I will smoothly transition into. But Santa Claus 2, we had the clone / toy version of Santa Claus with the plastic beard, but also played by Tim Allen.
He becomes like a communist dictator, and like just ends up ruling with an iron. I mean, the dude like looks like Mussolini or someone like that. Like
he was like, I changed the costume. It's like this black military dictator,
bro. I mean. It's interesting because like it kind of brings in like these concepts of ethics with technology, right? Because like how far can Christmas go like with the technology and everything before it forgets what Christmas is all about and who Christmas is, right? Like it's that whole kind of cool narrative that is not obvious and prevalent. Like they don't like out here and just outright say it, but like when he leans too much on technology in order to accomplish this traditionalist thing, it tends to things get a little bit wonky,
a little broken
for Christmas, a little broken for Christmas.
Everybody naughty, basically. But
it's
no,
an interesting narrative that I've never really thought about.
And that villain kind of leads into the Santa Claus 3 villain, Jack Frost.
It's a classic villain. It's a freaking classic.
Literally, I think that's the only line that I can always quote every time that I see and hear Santa Claus 3. It's just like you have the little girl. It's like, dude, just chill. And you hear Jack Frost, I invented chill. Gets me every time because it's like,
what's his
perfect.
name that plays Frost? Because he's
a comic legend. Like
yes, Steve. No,
Martin
Short. Martin Short. Yeah,
because I was thinking Steve Martin Short. Yeah,
because they did the tour together. Yeah, they've done tours together. Yep. Steve Martin Jordan. Not that. I was like, that's how I get here. Yep. I know how I get here.
Yep.
No, yeah.
Martin Short is Jack Frost, and like
it's fantastic.
And then like his whole arc, because he goes from like this cold man that desperately wanted to be Santa, and like the whole Rumpelstiltskin,
Lucy's hug, man,
warmed his heart, and like
it's freaking adorable.
Which kind of transitions to another movie of ours about warming hearts and evil beings that turn warm. I'm the Grinch.
Cindy Lou Who.
Hey, yeah, I was hoping you catch it.
Bro, no. First of all, love the remake. I don't care what anybody says. If you talk shit, you gonna get hit.
Animation is awesome.
That Cindy Lou Who is too good for this world.
Man, took the words right out of my mouth. As soon as we saw her in theaters, I was like, anybody hurt that child, I will kill them. I will do anything.
No,
for the child.
I love the remake. I really do. But the Grinch is by far. I mean, you can't go a Christmas season without watching one of the 3 versions at minimum.
I mean, mainly, and most people are going to watch the most popular one, which is not apparently, but obviously the 2000
the Jim Carrey
Jim Carrey 2000.
Jim Carrey
like,
version.
yeah.
I mean,
How the Grinch stole Christmas,
I love
man.
all the memes around the Jim Carrey Grinch. Like
he has a Twitter. The Grinch has a Twitter, and it pops up literally at the beginning of December every year, and just starts doing quotes from the Grinch from the movie every year.
Know that.
That's all it is.
Know that. That's cool. That's cool. The one that the gift that was a big one from a few. Just the way the Grinch jumping at you nonstop, bro. That one had me freaking weak.
When you try to scare your dog and it's like,
when you and your friends play heads up.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably one of the most quotable Christmas movies of our generation too. I mean, like any quote that you can think of from the Grinch, from Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey improv probably so many lines from that movie alone.
They gave that man as much free reign as he wanted to play that character. Because, I will say that is still by far my favorite Jim Carrey performance.
Oh, definitely.
Hands down. And I love Jim Carrey's, like, in The Mask, I love Jim Carrey, and
I love The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, exactly.
Which,
right.
I mean, that's one of my top tier
Right,
movies.
Yes Man. Like, I love all of these characters.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
But it's funny. It was funny.
It was.
He really became that book character. But he really becomes the character of the Grinch in this film. And, like, there are maybe like 2-3 moments when you realize you think that it's Jim Carrey, but otherwise I find it to be like the perfect depiction of what the Grinch would be like.
Right.
I mean, especially
and it's all based off of a Dr. Seuss book that is no more than 30 pages, and they got a 2-hour movie out of it.
a fantastic 2 hour movie.
Yeah, and most of it you have to contribute to Jim Carrey. And I mean, you have literally the scene where it's like he has to get dressed for the ball. Right, it's just like, that's it. I'm not going. Walking away.
Man, we mimic that scene all the time.
Oh yeah,
especially like whenever we get dressed to go anywhere.
You got that. You got the echoing scene. It was just like, I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
I mean, like when we were at the when Miriam and I went on our cross country tour and we like stopped at like this giant arches and everything, and like they scream out. That was literally the first thing that I screamed, and I was like, "This is." I mean, it was too perfect. It's. I mean, it really is a fantastic film. I mean, I can't. From really and truly from the costuming to the acting to the set design, I think it flawlessly creates that world. And for some, I mean, at a time when live action movies maybe like that were adapted from books kind of like fell off,
iffy,
like they were definitely iffy. It set a bar that I don't think is really yet to be met.
It still holds up.
It still holds up, but it's one of the few live action movies that still holds up. The only other live action movie that also came with a sequel that still holds up, Scooby Doo.
Hands down.
Those probably the only two live action adaptations of movies that like you can watch to this day and be like, perfect cast, perfect story, all around perfect. I don't care what you say.
Man, you're gonna get me sidetracked. I watched a bunch of TikToks on Scooby Doo the other day about like the different iterations of Shaggy and the different
you
shirts
sent me
that he
that.
wears. Yeah, I watched that the other day.
Yeah, no, there was that weird time where he did wear a red shirt and blue jeans. And, yeah. But a little fun fact about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the movie. I mean, the cast other than Jim Carrey. I mean, you had what's his name? Odin was the narrator at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
That you had the director is Ron Howard. For those of our older generation, he was not Opie. Well, yeah, he was Opie. Yeah. You also heard his daughter is Bryce Dallas Howard.
He's the king of the gingers.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Taylor Momsen is also a rock star now.
Yeah. She played Cindy Lou Who in OG.
Yeah.
It's her music. I've heard is a long way from Where Are You Christmas at this point.
Yeah. Jeffrey Tambor, who's the voice of King Neptune from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, is the mayor.
Okay. Wow, he's a douche.
Yeah. Molly Shannon, if you know her from Parks and Rec, the librarian. That's the ex-wife of Ron Swanson.
Tammy too. And she plays who?
She plays Betty Lou Who, the mom.
She plays Betty Lou.
Yeah.
And then you've got the woman that plays the Grinch's crush, or the woman who had the crush on the Grinch.
Christine Baranski.
Yeah.
Huvier. Mary Lou Huvier.
Yeah.
Yeah, this cast is stacked. This everything about it is just stacked. It's a great movie. I mean, even the Grinch in 2018? Wow, that's 3 years old. I mean, that cast is cast as well. You got Benedict Cumberbatch, who was the Grinch. Yeah.
Doctor Strange himself.
You're talking about in
the 2018 Grinch.
The newest
one.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch has range, y'all. He was in a Western on Netflix recently, and I watched him play a cowboy. And that man has range.
Interesting.
It was, and I think that everybody's doing trying to do a Western now. It's interesting.
I blame The Harder They Fall.
I mean, it was kind of it's kind of a thing.
Set a mold. But yeah, I guess moving away from movies, What about some favorite TV specials?
Before we move away from movies, I have to say one more.
Okay.
A Christmas Story, because it's my favorite.
Okay.
And it's like easily one of the. You've never watched A Christmas Story, have you?
No.
Jeremy.
Don't hate me.
Jeremy.
Don't hate me because I'm
It's
beautiful.
all day on. It's on all day on Christmas Day on TBS. That is literally how I fell in love with this movie.
I ain't got cable. I'm making it a plan to watch.
You gotta watch.
Well,
starting
starting after this podcast comes out, I'm just going to be watching nothing but Christmas. Like I haven't watched anything Christmas yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to be watching nothing but Christmas stuff.
Okay.
And Boy Meets World because that's what I watch at work. But yeah, but no, that's my goal for the rest of December up until past my party and past the.
Well, you have a fantastic challenge ahead of you, and I look forward to hearing about your.
Well, yeah, because there's some new stuff I want to watch. I mean, there's
so many new Christmas movies.
Yeah, there's like 8-Bit Christmas that's on HBO Max that I plan on watching.
We watched it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all you need to tell me.
I love MPH. It's honestly, so it's MPH, right? And,
right.
And it's genuinely what sparked Miriam and I watching.
Harold and Kumar.
Well, yeah, I wanted to watch Harold and Kumar Christmas, and I was like, MPH.
Yep.
Sounds great. No, but 8-Bit Christmas, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's
It's
all I need
cute.
to hear.
It's got like a good message, all that stuff. Like everything you want in a good Christmas movie.
Cool. But let's now that we've chastised me for not watching one of the greatest Christmas stories of all time, A Christmas Story, let's go on to the TV shows.
I've seen the musical.
Hey, hush. All right. Some things. Christmas. All right. No, but Christmas specials, TV specials, but also Christmas episodes alone. Some of those are just as memorable as the movies. Even like I said, even some of the more inappropriate ones. I mean, the Big Mouth Christmas special that just came out, this literally 2021. I'm not gonna forget things that I saw in that episode, which I won't say on this podcast because I like to keep a podcast.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the South Park Christmas specials, bro.
Well, that too. And then Vada Johan.
Bro, no, not okay. Not okay. Like, whatever their version of Christmas is disturbing.
Ooh, the Stellana twins.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, this is like some, what was the name with Florence Pugh? That,
I'm going to say Nomad now. That's not Nomad. What's it? Midsummer.
Yeah, it's like a midsummer version of freaking Christmas. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but you have the Christmas author who comes in and dances his way away, but he loses and becomes phone.
We're not going.
Well, I mean, that's not inappropriate. I'm not talking about what happens in the North Pole.
Stop.
Exactly.
No, but the freaking South Park Christmas special with Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo is classic, bro.
Classic.
I mean, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, he loves me and I love you.
Howdy ho. But also you have the American Dad Christmas specials where they're the enemy of Santa.
Bro, that one's lit.
Bro, it's not one time. They become reoccurring. It's a reoccurring Christmas
battle.
special.
It's a battle.
Yes, it's a whole war that happens years at a time. You have the very first one that introduced me to a different version of Carol of the Bells that I fell in love with.
Right.
By August Burns Red. Ooh. And like they do, yeah, I had to call them out. But yeah, no, that version of Carol of the Bells freaking rocks, like literally.
Fantastic song anyway.
I mean, yeah, but then you hear it come in with the guitar, and all of a sudden you hear Santa go, "I'm coming for you, Smiths." I'm like, oh, this is about to go down,
bro. He was pissed.
He was
mad pissed off.
But then you got he comes
the Futurama Christmas special. The Futurama Christmas special is like when you get a whole new idea of Christmas. They don't have pine trees anymore.
Well, first of all, it's not Christmas; it's Xmas.
It's Xmas.
Xmas in the year 3000
because religion is no longer there.
Exactly, but then like you said, you got Kwanzaa Bot and the Hanukkah zombie.
Yeah,
with Santa Bot. Oh man, and Santa Bot the first time was played by John Goodman. And then he got recast because I guess they couldn't afford John Goodman after the first time. But I mean, John Goodman played the first time.
The first season happen before or after? Did the first Christmas special happen before or after they got canceled?
Because before they got canceled.
So they were probably running out of money.
Probably that too. I mean, also, I mean, Fox. So it was probably like, when did Roseanne end?
Well before.
I mean, he was probably still. I mean, he was still big in TV at that point too.
That's
so,
fair.
I mean, that probably.
Yeah.
hey, let's get you to voice Santa for an episode.
I mean, he deserves to play a good Santa at least at one point in time in his career.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the Christmas specials, they're just all so dope.
You know, you look when you're a kid, you really look forward to them. And that's the thing, like
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Every year on Cartoon Network, bro.
Well,
I looked forward to it every.
My little sister and I would watch that to if it was a VHS tape, it would be run down to the nitty gritty. Like how many times we would have watched it, and
it's
we
funny.
love the Santa.
It's clever.
Like the Grandma's gonna sue the pants off of Santa is probably one of my favorite songs we sing around the house.
Grandma's gonna sue the pants off of Santa.
No pantalones. Yeah,
I forgot about that song until you mentioned it. No, without a doubt, is one of my holiday specials for television shows. Like as a kid, I mean, like you genuinely waited every single year because you knew that they were going to come on. You knew there were going to be new ones.
Yep.
And you knew that we're going to get to see some of your favorite ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
The holiday, the Christmas episode of the Fairly Odd Parents, when Timmy Turner has like more wishes for more than one day of Christmas. Remember, like he wishes Christmas never ends, and Christmas Santa ends up like not being able to produce as many presents every day.
Toys get crappier and crappier.
Yeah, they just get crappier and crappier, and like he's like, my sea of presents have turned into a puddle. I remember that. I just remembered that episode because it was like. That episode was like one of my favorite episodes because like Timmy learns a very valuable lesson in that one.
Timmy learned a lot of lessons at that point.
That was the purpose of the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah,
Fairly Odd Parents.
We did grow up to from that to like the Family Guy Christmas special where literally Santa is worn down and literally deathly ill. And
yeah,
because you got Stewie who's still a 1-year-old at this point. He's just like, Brian, you're going to take me to Santa or I'm going to kill you. Like at that point, he has his laser pointed at Santa, and like the first time we see Santa is like frail, skinny, about to literally, if he takes 2 steps outside, he's going to
That's
like
the
fall
episode
out.
where you find out that the elves had been inbreeding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. It's creepy.
Like literally, the song, like the most memorable song from that episode is "Christmas Time Is Killing Us" because the whole scene of like,
time is killing us.
Yeah, I mean, you got the reindeers who've gone rabid because they ran out of reindeer food, so they started eating the elves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, it's just like they know because Christmas literally. I mean, the degree to which, and they talk about it in that episode, the degree to which that Christmas has changed from like the first time. Like, no one wants a wooden train anymore. Everyone wants the latest iPod.
Right,
iPad.
like,
you know how hard it is to make an iPad
with elves, like
and wood.
We can go on and on.
We can go on and on,
man. But I feel like we should next week.
All right, next week.
Yeah, talk about some more Christmas stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, maybe not just movies, but like some personal stuff that we do at home, and also just Christmas. It's that time. It's that time of the year. So, well, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear a word from our sponsor, Anchor, and then we'll be right back with the weekly blurb. Hey guys, it's Jeremy here to talk to you about Anchor, the free podcast tool that you all need. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, like I said, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So guys, go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm on your computer to get started. It's time for the weekly blurb. Sound like some folks are about to fight in this room. I had to turn on the recording so we can start recording and not fight.
Good, but I'll still fight.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks. I give up. I'm done. Welcome back. It's weekly blurb time. It's my go to go first, and to start us off with the weekly blurb, I just want to let you guys know it's been 5 years since one of the greatest albums of all time, in Jeremy's opinion, has come out. It is definitely 5 years of funk, of soul, of 90s R&B, and pop music. Bruno Mars, 24 Karat Magic, came out 5 years ago.
Good gracious almighty.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite albums of all time. I still listen to it religiously today, on top of Silk Sonic. And yeah, I can probably, that's one of the few albums that I like. I know every song to and every lyric.
I bet you know every word to every single song in that entire album.
Yeah.
What's the first song on the album?
24 Karat Magic.
What's the second song on the album?
Chunky.
Attaboy. What's the last song on the album?
Too Good to Say Goodbye.
You got it down.
Yeah.
I love that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's by far, I would have to say it's, other than AJR, Bruno Mars is one of my top artists, and that's probably my favorite album of all time out of his whole discography. And I'm just happy that it's been 5 years since that album's come out. That album came out in such a weird moment in time, but it came out and it did wonders. It's still doing wonders.
Going to the club, bro. That album was the soundtrack to the club life for a hot summer and a hot minute.
A hot couple summers before things shut down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty certain it had like 2020 not been 2020, we still would have been hearing 24 Karat Magic, or at least probably Finesse at that point in the club on repeat. Because I mean, he did by 2020. I'm saying, because I think in 2019 he did the remix with Cardi B, which means in 2020 it would have been in the clubs.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so we would have been hearing. We still would have been hearing 24 Karat Magic. We got Silk Sonic out of this pandemic, but still, 24 Karat Magic was a moment in time that is set in history. It's fantastic.
I mean, I think that it's the pinnacle, at least at this point, of Bruno Mars's career, right? Like, in terms of like the genre of music that he makes and the hip hop R&B part and like his own flavor along with it, I think that it perfectly surmises like all the love that is R&B with all the pop that is, you know, the
top 40, yeah, no,
flavor that he brings to R&B.
Literally, from 24 Karat Magic to Finesse to Chunky to Too Good to Say Goodbye. Like, you hear all of the 90s and you hear some of the 80s.
Remix too, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, it brings a modern take on it. You even got when it goes to when it goes on hold to be musical. It's the song where like he's on the phone. It's like you got Alicia waiting, yeah. But like you got Halle Berry on, like he got Halle Berry doing a voicemail. Like that's the influence that he had on the world at that point. He got Versace on the floor. You have Zendaya. That was my second sexual awakening of Zendaya at that point. I mean, everybody was already in love with Zendaya, but when I saw that video, I was like,
well, it was so like everybody loves Zendaya, but everyone loves Zendaya as like a sweetheart. For real, that was like one of the first times like she ever was like
a woman.
Yeah,
a woman.
Yeah, dead ass. Like, I completely agree with you there. Like, it was one of those moments.
But yeah, like that whole album, fantastic.
All right, so I got one for you. If AJR and Bruno Mars were playing on the same night in the same city that you're in, who are you going to go see? And I think this will determine who your favorite artist is.
Ooh. I probably have to stay at home. It would be too hard.
Oh, bull crap.
No, it's not bull crap because both of their performances is stunning. AJR.
Would you rather miss out on both?
I would have to. I would have to sacrifice a night of fantastic greatness from both sides.
Okay, I'm not letting you. I'm buying tickets to one of them pick.
See, back me into a corner here, man.
Yeah, you're picking.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. It'd have to be Bruno.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you've had a longer relationship with Bruno.
I have, and I mean, I know more of his songs, and I know I would go horse faster and from Bruno than I would at AJR. Like AJR, I know it'd be a fantastic performance, visuals be amazing, and I scream the whole time. But like Bruno, I'll be singing all the songs on top of screaming, on top of dancing, on top of trying to get on stage at that point, literally. Yeah. So yeah, no, I would. Yeah, that's my official statement. Bruno Mars is my all-time favorite artist, and yeah, that's my time. Thank you for backing me into a corner. And
well, we appreciate you and appreciate your opinions and certainly appreciate your taste in music.
Thank you, buddy. What you got for us?
I'm going to take my time to reflect because, like you, I have been going down a rabbit hole of old things that have previously given me joy.
Roy.
I have been watching an older anime that's a classic anime, rewatching rather, Inuyasha.
Ooh.
Because there is a new anime out. I think it's been out for a little bit, but I haven't watched it yet. It's called Yashahime. It's about his daughter. And I am excited because I really get to re-enjoy Inuyasha from a different perspective because the last time I watched it was when it was on Toonami. And I was like, just this... I was just watching it for the fighting, right? Like I wasn't looking for like the storyline.
Right, as most kids do. Yeah.
It is a wonderful love story. I'm not even gonna front on that. Like, you've got Inuyasha, who's the main character. He's a half demon, half man. You've got Kikyo, who is like the princess that killed him, and then you have what's the girl's name that is her reincarnated, and it's the retelling of this story that was told that happened, in a previous time, like 100 years prior, and now she's come back in a reincarnated version of and she is actually in the human world in the future, and she falls through a well, which ends up being a portal to the feudal times, and it takes place in feudal Japan, which is where Inuyasha lives with all the other demons, all the other feudal people, like the feudal communities and societies, and it really does a cool job of illustrating, I think, Japanese culture and a lot of the historical. I mean, Japan is old as crap, man. It's just like one of the oldest nations in the world, and I mean, the history of its society and how it grew from, like city states. It's absolutely fascinating. I mean, you have like samurais and you have ninjas and all that stuff. Like everyone's obsessed with it, and I mean,
so they've gone through more like big changes and revolutions than America, definitely.
Oh, hands down. Like
I mean, we have this many like this many anime throughout it, or just talking about it and just throughout history of like anime and Japanese culture.
Yeah, for sure.
And, when you have enough of like actual history to base a lot of anime off of, you got history.
Right.
Legit.
Right. And I mean, because you date it back to the mythology, right? Like, I mean, it's some of the coolest stuff, and I think that they're doing a great job. I mean, I think they did a great job of really like integrating it and telling the story. And I mean, it's not a bad dub. I've been watching it in the dub. I worry a lot of the time with like early 90s, early 2000 anime that were dubbed, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the dub. I'll keep the dubbed on with the subtitles, so you see the differences in the translation.
Right.
But it's been spot on. I really love the Inuyasha voice actor. Miriam said the first time she heard the Kikyo's character for the first time, she wasn't necessarily like sold on it. But it does grow on you. I think that it's wonderful, honestly. But if no one's ever gotten a chance to check out Inuyasha as an anime, it's on Hulu as well as Netflix, and it's also on Crunchyroll. So check it out. I imagine like there's a good amount of people that watch or listen to our podcast that have watched it before, but give it a rewatch too if you haven't checked it out in a while. It still holds up. It's really cool. I love and I mean I absolutely love the art style. It's classic. It's very well done, and I mean it still holds up. So check it out. And that's my time.
Very nice, very nice. We appreciate it, Jay, and we appreciate you guys for always listening in to our conversations, whether they be serious or just out of balls to the wall control with Christmas movies and TV shows, which we are going to continue because I mean we had to stop it in terms of time, but I mean I think even before we started recording today, we went on a tangent on Christmas movies, so we're going to we're going to continue that next week as well. So be sure to tune in and listen to that and talk about probably see even more Christmas specials and TV shows more in depth on that rather than Christmas movies. And then other than that, you can follow us. Where can the people find us, Jay?
You can follow us on Twitter at Blerd Guide, on TikTok at Blerd Guide, on Instagram at Blerd Survival Guide, as well as on Facebook. You can also follow us on our personals. Mine is at JDub0283.
And I'm at JBear3295. Remember, you can shop with us on Redbubble when you search Blerd Survival Guide. Other than that, keep surviving, everybody. Listen to the theme song.
Two guys, two mics, our producer. Step into the spotlight, survival industry troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide. Every Tuesday, it's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys, two mics, our producer. Step into the spotlight, survival industry troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide. Every Tuesday, it's the Blerd Survival Guide.